Friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud. Myself Ashish Bansal. I am here you to represent today's news, that is the 27th August 2020 news. Today we will discuss 27th August 2020 important news. But first of all, you can subscribe our Affairs Cloud PDF current affairs. That is, you will receive daily current affairs, you will receive weekly current affairs and monthly current affairs. These current affairs are available in English as well as in Hindi language. You can subscribe these current affairs by visiting our site, that is affairscloud/current affairs section, and you can subscribe these current affairs. You will also get weekly test, and if you want 10% extra discount, then you can use my code, that is ASH10, that is ASH10. These current affairs are prepared from very authentic sources and very good newspapers like The Hindu, PIB, PTI, Economic Times and Business Standard and official government websites. So these current affairs are very relevant for any type of exam. Even these are very relevant for the UPSC exam also. Now we are starting with the 27th August 2020 current affairs with our first news. Our first news is, which state or UT topped the export preparedness index? Now that is very important because it is the first time that this is launched, export preparedness index. You have 4 options. Give me answer within 5 seconds. I am giving you 5 seconds. And the answer is very simple. Answer is Gujarat. Answer is C option, that is Gujarat. You can see here Gujarat topped this index, but this index is released by the Niti Aayog. So you have 2 questions in that who topped this index and who released this report. That is the export preparedness index. Niti Aayog in partnership with Institute of Competitiveness, that is the EPI index launched. It means Niti Aayog and Institute of Competitiveness both released this report, that is the Export Preparedness Index 2020. This is the first time this report released because it is the export oriented report. It means it will be based on the 4 pillars, that is the how the policy is going on, how the business is established, and how the ecosystem of the business is, how export ecosystem is going on. It means what are the export tariffs or all other system, and what is the export performance. And it also covers 11 sub pillars. It means this EPI index is prepared under the 4 pillars and 11 sub pillars. Main aim of the EPI is to identify the challenges and opportunities, to enhance the effectiveness of the government policies, to encourage the regularity, how much effective the export is going on, how much export diversification is there, how much R&D is there, how much R&D infrastructure is there. So all these things can be covered under the Export Preparedness Index. EPI 2020 evaluates the true potential and capacities of the Indian states. It means how much states are capable, how much or how many states are capable for export oriented units. Now, recent related news related to the Economist Intelligence Unit, that is latest ranking based on fastest growing urban regions. Fastest growing urban regions all over world level. 3 of these cities in Kerala were ranked in the top 10 places. That is very important. The 3 of the cities in Kerala ranked top 10 places under the fastest growing urban region. Now, second is central and state government water department based on their efficiency target for 2019. Now this is report related to the water department. It is the best state is the Gujarat because it is released by the Jal Shakti department, that is the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, changed name as the Jal Shakti. So they ranked Gujarat as the first on the parameters of the water remains, and Delhi is the worst performing state. Now you can see here in this news that first state is Gujarat. Now what is second and the third? Second state is Maharashtra. And third state is, you can see here, third state is Tamil Nadu. Third rank is Tamil Nadu. And you can see here other options, that is the Uttarakhand and Delhi. This is also related to this news, that if you're asking who topped in the coastal states under the Export Preparedness Index, coastal state Gujarat again topped in the coastal state area. And under the Himalayan state, Uttarakhand first. And under the landlocked state, that is the Rajasthan first. Under the landlocked, it is Rajasthan, and under the union territories, it is Delhi on the first. So there are 5 things. One is the overall export preparedness index, that is topped by Gujarat. In the coastal states, it is also topped by Gujarat. In the Himalayan state, it is topped by that is the Uttarakhand. In the landlocked states, it is topped by the Rajasthan, and in the union territories, it is topped by the Delhi. For the further news, you can visit our site. And guys, today we want 300 likes. If you give us 300 likes, then it will help us to grow, and it will enhance us to do more things for you guys. So 300 likes this time. Next news. Women of which state topped the list of loan benefits under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana? All you aware of the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana? Now, which state woman topped the list of loan benefits under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana? You have 4 options. Tell me answer within 5 seconds. I am giving you 5 seconds. And the answer is 5 seconds are over now, and the answer is Tamil Nadu. B is the right answer. Tamil Nadu state woman topped under the beneficiary list of the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. You can see here in the image that Tamil Nadu woman topped the list of Mudra Yojana. Now, what is the total criteria? That is, Tamil Nadu women claimed so much loan that it become the first state of India to giving loan to women. It is total amount, if you can remember, that is the 58227 crore. First number is the Tamil Nadu, second is the West Bengal, that is 55232. No need to remember the figure, I just mentioned because it is the first, second, third, or 4 or 5 states. Karnataka is the 47714, Bihar is the fourth state, and Maharashtra is the 5th state. So total number of states I am giving you, that are 5, because these 5 states got 52% loan under the Mudra Yojana. This is very huge because out of 28 states, we have 5 states that cover 52% loan under the Mudra Yojana. That is very important. First is Tamil Nadu, second is West Bengal, Karnataka, Bihar, and Maharashtra. No need to remember all the states, but these 5 states cover 52% women. What is the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana? It was started in 2015. That is up to the loan of 10 lakhs given to the non-corporate, non-farm or micro enterprises. This loan is given by commercial banks, regional rural banks, small finance banks, microfinance institutions, even NBFCs, and it given under the 3 categories, like the Shishu loan, that is the smallest loan, Kishore, that is the medium loan, Tarun is the largest loan, because maximum amount can be availed is 10 lakh rupees only. And Shishu loan is up to 50,000, Kishore loan is up to 5 lakh, and Tarun loan up to 10 lakhs. This is very important. This was asked in 2015 and 16 in various exams, but it can be asked again. Now, what about Ministry of Finance? All know Union Minister is Nirmala Sitharaman, and Ministry of State is Anurag Singh Thakur. Now, next question. With which organization Veer Surender Sai University of Technology, Vasut, Veer Surender Sai University of Technology, it is in Odisha, signed a pact to set up the first of its kind innovation cum incubation center to promote space research. This is first kind of in incubation center under the space research. Now you have to tell me which organization tie up with this Veer Surender Sai University of Technology. You have 4 options. Tell me answer within 5 seconds. I am waiting your answer. And the answer is Indian Space Research Organization. Maximum students marked it's both A and B, but both A and B is wrong. And answer is Indian Space Research Organization signed MOU with very best institute of Odisha, that is the Veer Surender Sai University of Technology. You can see here in the picture, that is the best institute of Odisha to promote space research. Now simple is to promote space research. Now what will they do that? Simple. That is very simple, to promote the knowledge about the space research. So this is the Vasut Space Innovation Center will be opened in India to promote the space research. This is type of an incubation center. It means if you have any startup idea, you can go to this institute, and this institute will promote your startup idea also if you have idea related to the space research. ISRO will also offer the technical consultancy support. It means they will provide any technical consultancy and financial assistance of 50 lakh rupees for development and infrastructure of the Vasut. This is a very new kind of initiative done by the ISRO. Both institutes will explore the latest global trends in the space technology and will take up related projects that benefit India. Now, who is the chairman of ISRO? That is very important question. You have to remember 2 or 3 times you have to read this. That is chairman is K.F. Sivan. You have seen in the pictures when Chandrayaan 2 mission was on the launching stage, and headquarters in Bengaluru, Karnataka. Now, Related news for this, that is again very important, related to the ISRO. ISRO has signed a pact with the Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Now, this is a new institute, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, that is in Bengaluru, Karnataka, to establish a optical telescope. That is under the Project Netra. You can ask what is Project Netra. So you have to mark the option in which there is a optical telescope. So this is very simple. Just read and go to the next question. Which state joined a India-Japan startup initiative to promote startups in the state? Now, state government tie up with this Indo-Japan startup initiative so that they can provide startup ideas, they can provide employment to their youth under the state. So, give me answer within 5 seconds. You have four options and answer in 5 seconds. Answer, guys, very fast. And the answer is Karnataka. Answer is Karnataka. So Karnataka government signed up the tie-up for the Japan-India Startup Initiative. Now you can see Indo-Japan Forum from Bengaluru, Karnataka CM, that is address this meeting. Now, Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa addressed a virtual Indo-Japan business forum organized by the Indian Chamber of Commerce, ICC, Indian Chamber of Commerce, and the government of Karnataka even give a 509-acre land to Japanese industrial township at Vasanthan Sapura near Tumkur. Tumkur is very important. It is for the iron mine. That is the Chikmagaluru, Tumkur, very famous places in the Karnataka for the iron mines. In Tumkur, to enable more Japanese investment in the state. So Karnataka government also gives some land, that is the approximately 500-acre land, for setting up the township under the Tumkur, so that Japanese can invest in the state and employment opportunities can be increased. Odisha government also provided 3.53 square kilometer industrial ready land near Bhubaneswar. So again, Odisha, Karnataka and more other states are joining the many pacts with the international organizations or the country, so that they can launch startup ideas and youth of the state or the country can be employed. And what about Karnataka? Governor is Vajubai Rudabai Wala. Nuclear power plant, that is very important, Kaga generating station and Uttar Kannada district. Two nuclear power projects. Uttar Kannada district is not in working, but Kaga generation plant is very important. It was asked in many exams. So there are some national parks in the Karnataka. So guys, comment me. I am telling you 2 or 3. That is the Bandipur National Park. Bandipur National Park in Karnataka, very famous. Kudremukh. Kudremukh is also a mine. Kudremukh mine. But Kudremukh National Park is also there. One important is Nagarhole. That is asked in the IBPS exam last year. Nagarhole National Park. Nagarhole. Nagarhole National Park. So if you guys know more, then tell me in the comment box. Now next question is, who chaired the 17th meeting of the India-Vietnam Joint Commission on Trade, Economic, Scientific and Technological Cooperation? This is the just annual meeting between the India and Vietnam Joint Commission, because in 2022 we are celebrating 50 years of collaboration with Vietnam. That is the bilateral trade between the Vietnam and India. In 2022, we are celebrating 50 years of tie-ups. And who chaired this meeting? That is Shri Narendra Modi, Piyush Goyal, Jaishankar ji or Amit Shah. Now, I am repeating the options because these 4 options are important. You have to know all the options. Now, give me answer within 5 seconds. These are 4 options and tell me answer within 5 seconds. And the answer is S. Jaishankar, that is our foreign minister, Subramaniam Jaishankar, bureaucrat turned politician under Modi government. 17th meeting. You can see the S. Jaishankar and the counterpart, Indian-Vietnam tie-up. So I already told you that is for the 50th anniversary of bilateral diplomatic ties from 1972 to 2022. We are celebrating 50 years. Related news to that is very important news. That is the first is very important. What is that? 36th Association of Southeast Asian Nation. In if you go 2 days back, I already told you about ASEAN countries. Now this is again about the ASEAN. So one question will be from ASEAN. That is 100% in the IBPS exam. Association of Southeast Asian Nations summit was held by video conference. By default, it is COVID-19, so all is virtual going on. and the theme is cohesive and responsive ASEAN. So you have to remember this theme, cohesive and responsive ASEAN. The summit is chaired by Vietnamese Prime Minister, that is Nguyen Xuan, as Vietnam is the ASEAN chair in 2022, because in 2022 it should be held in the Vietnam, but due to this COVID-19 it is going virtually, but it is chaired by the Vietnamese Prime Minister. So you have to know that in 2020 who is the chairperson of this summit. And the focus of the ASEAN to meet is, the focus to meet was on COVID-19 response, post pandemic recovery, even for further the cooperation with the partners. Now you all know about the ASEAN, that is 10 group nations, that is Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, and the Vietnam. You can see here is India, and all the countries here, all is a member of ASEAN. You have to remember this, ASEAN. It means 10 countries, and one country has observer status also. In 2 days back videos, you can see that I told you one observer country. You have to tell me in the comment box which countries has observer status under the ASEAN. Now, where is the secretariat? That is, where is the headquarter? That is the Jakarta, Indonesia. And chairman, currently chairman 2020 is president of the Vietnam, that is the Nguyen Xuan. And secretary general is H. Dato Lim Loc Hu. You can remember this name by the pronunciation. About Vietnam, capital is Hanoi and currency is Vietnamese dong. If you go 100 or 200 years back, then you can see Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos was combined, but now there are 3 countries, that is Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia all together. Now Vietnam capital is Hanoi. Next question is, which continent is declared free of wild polio by independent body, the African Regional Certification Commission? Now it is a body of the African nation, that is the Africa Regional Certification Commission. It works under the WHO for giving the certification. Now this organization declared a continent free of wild polio. Now there is a condition of wild polio. If you have no patient of the polio in past 4 years, then you can declare a country, a continent can be that is the free of wild polio. Now, which is the continent? You have 4 options. Tell me answer within 5 seconds, and your 5 seconds starts now. And give me answer very fast. Your 5 seconds are now over, and the answer is Africa. The C option is correct. Africa becomes that country that is free of wild polio. You can see here, free of wild polio. Now, no case had occurred on the continent for the past 4 years. I already told you what is the condition to declare that. So no case for the polio for last 4 years, which was the criteria of the eradication of world polio. Now polio virus is only found in the 2 countries, that is Afghanistan and Pakistan. Otherwise maximum countries are now free of that. Recent news about that is Union Minister Harshvardhan is set to take charge as chairman of World Health Organization Executive Board. Our health minister will be the chairman of the World Health Organization Executive Board from India side. Now, who is the director of WHO? That is the Tedros. Remember by the initials, and headquarters is Geneva, Switzerland. Next question. How much growth rate of India is projected by RBI in financial year 2020-21? Nothing to remember this news, but only you have to remember that what or how much growth rate is predicted by the RBI in the financial year 2020-21. Due to corona pandemic, due to that is the demonetization, due to the GST system, already growth rate is slow. But due to pandemic, this corona pandemic, it is now dipping so much. That is how much? Minus 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. Give me answer within 5 seconds. And the answer is minus 4.5. You have to remember this, minus 4.5. You can see in the picture also. Now next question is, which bank has launched Omni Collect? This is the takeaway from the question. That is the Omni Collect, a one-stop solution for business to offer multiple payment options on a single platform. It means by this Omni Collect, you can pay by Google Pay, by Paytm, or any other platform or any other payment platform. You can pay amount to that business, or you can pay to the anyone. That is launched by the HDFC, HSBC India, SBI, or the ICICI. You have to tell me answer within 5 seconds. I am repeating option again and again. So it can create a confusion. So I will not repeat the options. So give me answer within 5 seconds, and the answer is HSBC India. Mark the answer B, that is HSBC India. You can see here HSBC India launches Omni Collect in India. It is a multi-payment solution. You have to remember the one keyword, that is the multi-payment solution. It is designed for business to easy collect payments through various digital methods, thereby allowing them to easily adapt to the changes in the consumer spending, because we are, due to COVID, we are avoiding the physical touch with the payment solution also. So you can pay through the any medium by the like Paytm, like Google Pay, like Phone Pay, any payment solution you can be give your payment. Recent related update, that is the NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, launched RuPay commercial card named SBM in Cash RuPay Business Card. So you have to remember this term, SBM, that is the State Bank of Mauritius. State Bank of Mauritius in Cash RuPay Business Card is the name of the card, in partnership with the State Bank of Mauritius, India. This is for the young entrepreneurs and small business owners. Now, what about HSBC India? Headquarters in Mumbai and CEO is the Surinder Roche. Now, next news is, which bank has introduced Liberty Saving Account? Again, key away point is, that is the Liberty Saving Account for Indian youth to address the ever-changing lifestyle needs of young due to COVID-19. So any changes in the young lifestyle needs money. So this Liberty Saving Account will provide you some amount of money in a year, so that you can change your lifestyle in the COVID-19. So you, if you are facing any problem regarding the money, then this is the solution. Now you have to tell me the bank, and you have 4 options. Give me answer within 5 seconds. Give me answer within 5 seconds, and your time period starts now. And answer is, 5 seconds are getting over, and the answer is Axis Bank. Axis Bank starts this initiative. Axis Bank Liberty Saving Account for the youth. Now, what this card provide? This offers a complimentary hospital cash insurance cover of up to rupees 20,000 per year, which cover all hospital expenses incurred under COVID-19. So, which makes this is the first of its kind saving account to cover the pandemic. This is the first account or first card which is providing you COVID-19 insurance, that is up to the 20,000 per year. This is for the 35 year of age or under 35 year of age. You have to remember this also. So this will also provide the minimum balance. This will also provide the annual saving and the launch benefit, that is the airport launch benefit. Cashback and gift vouchers are also there, but don't need to remember, because you don't want to buy that. You have to just cover the question. Now, what about Axis Bank? That is the headquarters in Mumbai, and MD is here, the Amitabh Chaudhary. Tagline is very important. बढ़ती का नाम ही है जिंदगी. बढ़ती का नाम जिंदगी. Now, next question is Greenco Energies Private Limited. Again, company is related to the energy. Every day we are covering this type of question for the clean energy or the renewable energy. So it is for again the green energy. Greenco Energies Private Limited entered into a memorandum of understanding, that is the pact, with which company to explore renewable energy power supply solution and energy storage. It means again one pact is signed for renewable energy or for clean energy. Now you have to tell me which is the company with Greenco Energies Private Limited signed. Answer is, give me answer within 5 seconds, and your time already started and time is now over. And answer is NTPC Vidyut Vyapar Nigam. That is the subsidiary of NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. Greenco and NTPC tied up. Now it is for development of renewable energy. With the name you can link that, and flexible and dispatchable power supply. I already told you 175 gigawatt, that is the target of Indian government under 2022 clean energy project, and by 2030 we should have 450 gigawatt of clean energy only. That can be the solar, that can be the wind, but total energy of clean resources should be 450 gigawatt by 2030 and 175 gigawatt by 2022. Recent related news for that is the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation ONGC and NTPC have signed a parliamentary, that is the it is a preliminary agreement to set up a joint venture for renewable energy. Now again it is for the renewable energy. ONGC and NTPC signed this. It is a preliminary agreement. It means it is on the paper just, but not in the practical. NTPC signed on the MOU with the CPCB. This is the Pollution Control Board. It means it is for controlling the pollution. It means it is for the air quality monitoring system. You have to remember both ONGC tied up with NTPC and NTPC signed up with the CPCB. What about NTPC? Vidut Vyapar Nigam, headquarters is New Delhi and CEO is Mohit Bhargava. No need to remember Mohit Bhargava name. Now learn from picture, and this is the NLCIL wins Swachhata Hi Seva Award. That is very important. Mark this, very much important. NLCIL wins Swachhata Hi Seva Award. That is the Naveli Lignite Corporation All India Limited. Naveli Lignite Corporation India Limited. That is the coal organization. Naveli headquarters is in Chennai, and Naveli Lignite Corporation, that is the coal corporation, bagged the Swachhata Hi Seva Award 2019 award for transforming Naveli Township in the plastic-free, clean or the green campus. So just remember, NLC India or the NLCIL wins Swachhata Hi Seva Award. Next news, who has developed the vendor performance evaluation system? This is very important system because you always complained about the pending road constructions, pending road works. Now this is for that. That is the vendor performance evaluation system to establish a transparent and comprehensive performance rating system for its consultant, contractors and the concessionaries. Now tell me answer. That is the, you have 4 options. Tell me the answer within the options. That is the Ministry of Home, Ministry of Defense, BRO, that is the Board Road Organization, NHAI, National Highway Authority of India. Now tell me answer within 5 seconds. I am giving you 5 seconds and your time starts now. And the answer is National Highway Authority of India. D is the right answer. D is the right answer. You can see now they will cover all the projects of the road, but they will also evaluate online that projects. It means if you have pending projects, then the contractors can upload the data that this is pending and this will complete on that date, so that all the projects can be evaluated transparently. The portal-based objective assessment of vendors was initiated to track the vendor performance for various NHAI projects. Now 5 days long the project was started, but it is not completed now. So all these problems can be evaluated by this portal-based objective. The vendors are required to conduct a self-assessment. So they have to contact the contractors that how much time it will take more. So they have to upload the documents related to the project activities executed by them on the portal. Vendor rating will be generated according to their work completion work, that is generated based on the review made by the NHAI at multiple levels. So NHAI will rate the vendors according to their project work or according to their sustainability. But if the vendor thinks that the rating is wrong, then it is an opportunity for the vendors will be provided to the vendor to appeal against the generated rating. So they can appeal there will be the appellate authority for that. Related news was that is the NADA India initiative launched by the Sports Ministry, that is the National Anti-Doping Agency. So what is the purpose of the NADA India initiative? It is for, the initiative is for towards dope-free sports, providing updates and information about the banned substances and their use to aware the athletes and coaches. What about NHAI? NHAI headquarters is in New Delhi and chairman is Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. Now news from the picture, that is learned from picture. Poulomi Ghatak retires from table tennis. You have to remember she is just 37 years old, but she retired. That is the Poulomi Ghatak. You have to remember the name. And she is 7-time national championship. She was from Calcutta and 7-time national championship. She represented India in 2000 Sydney Olympics, but she not won any medal at the age of 16. She won bronze medal in the 2006 Commonwealth Games, that is in Melbourne, and silver medal in the Commonwealth that was held in New Delhi, India. She will focus on her coaching role in the future. It means now she is not a no more player. She will be coach. Next news, who wrote Cricket Drona, a book on one of India's most renowned cricket coaches, Vasudev Jagannath Pranjpe. If I show you picture, then you can recognize that Vasudev Jagannath Pranjpe, because we don't know the name but we recognize him. So tell me first, who wrote that book? That is the Cricket Drona. That is almost the biography of the Vasudev Jagannath Pranjpe. Jatin Pranjpe, his son, Anand Vasu, Arvind Adiga, or both A and B? Tell me the answer within 5 seconds. I am giving you 5 seconds. And the answer is both A and B. D is the right answer. You can see here. Cricket Drona, I think you remember now with the picture. Yes. And author is Jatin Pranjpe and the Anand Vasu. This book is very special because this coach, that is the Pranjpe ji, shaping the careers of India's greatest cricket like Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is now Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. He is among the 5 players who received Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award recently. The book also consists essay written by the Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, and Sunil Gavaskar for the like other cricketers, for coaches, for their mentors also. Next question, who wrote Cricket Drona? Again, that news comes. Next is World Water Week 2020. This is very important because of water scarcity. Water Week is celebrated under 24 to 28 August. 24 to 28 August. You can see here, World Water Week of year 2020 is observed on the 24th August to 28th August. Now, it is organized by the Stockholm, that is in Sweden, International Water Institute. It was firstly celebrated in 1991. Now, what about the this Stockholm International Water Institute? Its headquarters is in Stockholm, that is Sweden. No need to remember executive director. You just remember the World Water Week, that is 24 August to 28th August. Now, next news. Which state government has signed a memorandum of understanding with M3M company, that is the foundation company, to facilitate students' online preparation, training, mentoring for entrance exams on government job? That is only for the Group C and the Group D post. Group C and Group D post. And that is very good initiative for the needy students, that they can join this M3M foundation, and they can prepare, or they can train themselves for the examination. And you have 4 options. Give me answer within 5 seconds, which is the state which tie up with the M3M foundation for this facility. And the answer is Haryana. Very good. The answer is Haryana. You can see Dushyant Chautala, that is the Deputy Chief Minister of Haryana. They signed a pact with the M3M because they have target of 1 lakh candidates to government jobs within or outside the state in the next 2 years. So they have targeted that in the next 2 years, they have to provide the 1 lakh candidates to the government jobs, even in the state or outside the state. This pact is valid for the 18 months. In first phase, 50,000 candidates will be selected for online training according to the past performance in the various examination of the state. M3M Foundation will finance the initiative, identify and select higher students, suitable students for this purpose, so that maximum to maximum students can avail the job. Now, last question of the day. Which player has become the first fast bowler in the history to take 600 test wickets? Now, this is the 600 test wickets, not the one-day wickets. Now, tell me the answer. Within 5 seconds, you have 4 options. You can see the 4 options, and the answer is, you can mark the answer very cleverly. Jasprit Bumrah can't be answer because he's not playing, that India is not playing in at any international level because COVID-19. Mitchell Starc, no match is going on, and only that matches are going on, that is the England and Pakistan. That is the James Anderson from England is the only fast bowler that takes 600 test wickets. Otherwise, there are 3 other players, but they are spinner. That is the Muthaiya Muralidharan from Sri Lanka, Shane Watson from Australia, and Anil Kumble from India. Muthaiya Muralidharan is the maximum wicket taker, that is the 800 wickets. Anil Kumble, I think 619, yes, 619 wickets, and Shane Watson is the 708. But this James Anderson from England took 600 wickets, but he's only fast player among the 4. Thank you. I think all the news are clear, and I hope you will sport Affairs Cloud for this purpose. Affairs Cloud always boost your confidence under General Affairs section. I hope you will give us 300 likes so that we can grow. I read all the comments which you are commenting, and according to that, I am preparing and I am growing day by day. Thank you for support.